Hey guys, I'm Mrs. Volchek. So in this class, you really just learned how to write equations of tables that end up being linear or exponential in this class. So if you can wrap your head around the methods that we go through today, you should be pretty set for writing equations from tables. Okay. Question number 1 says, complete the table if the function f of x has a y-intercept of 5 and a multiplier of 1.2. So a y-intercept of 5 is going to be where the table starts, and then a multiplier of 1.2 means I have to multiply that starting value by 1.2 in order to get to the next value in the table. So I end up with a 6. I'm going to multiply by 1.2 to get to the next value in the table. You can do a little shortcut where you pick up that 6, hit enter, and then multiply it by 1.2. I don't know if it really saves you any time, but multiply that guy by 1.2. And then multiply that guy by 1.2. All right, all it wanted me to do was complete the table. I'm done. Let's go to number 2. It says complete the table if the function f of x has a y-intercept of 0, -8. That is where my table is going to start. And a slope of 1.25. A slope means that I am going to add or subtract the same number every time. It has a constant rate of change. In this case, he's positive, so I am adding 1.25 every time to get to the next value in the table. I'm going to take the -8, add 1.25, and get -6.75. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to do the same thing again. And I'm going to do the same thing one more time to get me to the last piece in the table. And that is going to be -3. All I had to do here was complete the table, so I'm done. Let's go to question 3. Question 3 says, find the equation of f of x given the table. So now I'm writing an equation. So I need to keep track of the two types of equations that I end up writing in this class from a table. I am either going to, this is a screenshot from our reference sheet. I am either going to write a linear equation given the table or an exponential equation given the table. In a linear equation, I am going to be dealing with a slope and a y-intercept. We know where to find those in the equation. And then in an exponential equation, I have a, which is the y-intercept, or where the curve begins, and then b is going to be my multiplier, or my base, okay? So let's investigate question 3. It says, find the equation of f of x. So my equation is going to look like this. And now I've got to figure out if the y's in this table are growing from a multiplier or a slope. So let's take a look here. To get from here to here, that number is going up by a whole number, but then it's going up by a decimal, and then it's going up by a decimal with even more place values at the end. That makes me think this guy is a multiplier, okay? So in order to test and see what that multiplier is, I take the second over the first, and I'm going to see what that ends up being. 13 over 10. I don't want to write that 5 times on my table, so I'm going to change that to a decimal. And it's 1.3. So my multiplier is 1.3. To get from here to here, I multiply by 1.3. To get from here to here, I multiply by 1.3. The fact that I am multiplying every time tells me that this is going to be an exponential function. So I'm going to copy y equals a times b to the x and match that structure there. So my multiplier is 1.3. I have to put the exponent of x, that makes it exponential, and then I have to figure out what the starting value is. I need to back my table up to 0 in order to get that starting value. When I'm doing an exponential function from a table and I'm heading this way, I'm always multiplying. In order to head in the opposite direction, I'm going to have to do the opposite operation. The opposite of multiplication is division. So to back my table up to 0, I'm going to have to divide by 1.3. So I take 260, I divide by 1.3, and I end up with 200. The starting value or y-intercept of this exponential function is 200. And I have written my equation, I'm done. Number 4 says find the equation of f of x given the table. Same idea. My answer is going to be an equation that models this table. So this table looks like it's going up where we have a 3 and an 8, a 0.3 and a 0.8. This looks like I'm adding the same number every time. So in order to investigate and see if this is in fact a linear function, I'm going to take the second number minus the first to see how I get from the first to the second. Oh yeah, okay, so it's 5.5 plus 5.5. And then I just want to see if that holds true. So if I do 56.8 plus 5.5, I do get to 62.3. I have confirmed that this is in fact linear. And now I'm going to calculate the change in y over the change in x so I can get my slope. So this is the change in y. And then my change in x is going to be plus 2. So my slope is the change in y over the change in x. So it is 5.5 over 2. So now I have f of x is equal to, I have 5.5 divided by 2. Since I'm already working in decimals, I'm just going to type it in here and see what I get. 2.75x. And then the table is at 6. I need to back it up to 0 to find my y-intercept. Since I'm working in the opposite direction, I'm going to do the opposite operation. So 6 minus 2 is going to give me 4. I'm going to minus 5.5. And then I have to do that again. I'm making a whole new table. And then I'm going to do it again. 34.8. My y-intercept is 34.8. The end. Bye-bye.